Stop screen. What is up, everyone? Welcome to First Seed Sports. We are here to do a fun little Superflex draft on Underdog. It is called, I think it's the Puppy, but Superflex. And a little fun $5 entry. The way I see it is this is the best way to mock draft where you can potentially win money at the end of the season. And without further ado, I'm drafting at the one spot, and we're already in these. Actually, hold on, because I didn't plan for this. I'm 101. I'm on the clock. I'm taking Josh Allen. Let me get this on the screen real quick, and then I'll kind of chat us up. So here we are. Mike, where are you picking? You're at pick 6. Dante, we unfortunately got into this without him, so Dante will be our coach in making these picks. And then we've got our other teammate here, Zach Cole. Couldn't make it to the stream, but here he is, Mr. Fearless Bard, picking at 11. We'll probably make fun of his picks. But, yeah, 101, I feel like Josh Allen is the pick, especially in Superflex. Hard to disagree. And I don't know, do you guys have any opposition? Dante, who would you have taken?
Superflex, that's tough because you want to get a quarterback really early in Superflex just to get have an establishing base at that position. So I probably would have went with Josh Allen as well, if not Pat Mahomes. I'm a Pat Mahomes homer, so I probably would have went with him. But yeah, Josh Allen isn't a bad pick there as well.
Jalen Hurts, Mike. I like it.
Not one of my favorite picks, but I just think for consistency reasons, like look at all these quarterbacks going. This is nuts, man. I had to at least get one, so he's going to be a consistent guy throughout the year. And there's the first position player. Okay. And Bard coming in with the 11th there. Let's see if Bard keeps the quarterback train going here.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah, this is interesting. You know, Superflex, you never want to get caught without at least one good quarterback. So, like, it's so tough when the draft starts with Allen, Mahomes, and Herbert to not go QB, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure that some people might even double up on the way back as well. I wouldn't be surprised. So, and
I would have taken JT over McCaffrey personally, but I think it's just more injury than the actual performance.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Oh, Cooper Kupp.
Let me see what his other pick is before.
Let's see if he goes QB now. Interesting to see here.
Mr. Fearless Bard is on the clock.
Jamar Chase being the second wide receiver off the board.
What do you think of that? That's who I would have taken.
I think I probably would have went with Justin Jefferson, to be honest. Well, he went right next. That's funny. It's either those two. I'm trying to think. I just wouldn't feel confident taking Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams with their new offenses. I mean, obviously, they're going to be top 10 talents in their position, but as far as being those two are bona fide in their systems. Number one options. They're going to get the touches every single week. It makes sense. They're young. I mean, it doesn't matter for this league. If it was a dynasty, that would be huge.
Oh, yeah. I was actually talking with Zach last night. He put up the bold statement that he would probably consider taking Justin Jefferson over Cooper Kupp, and clearly he didn't when he had the opportunity. But we were both kind of talking, and we both kind of said that, this season, it feels like the ceiling of Justin Jefferson definitely feels higher than Kupp's, just because I feel like we saw Kupp's ceiling. And then they added Allen Robinson, and he'll probably be covered a little bit better this year. So it was just kind of like, oh, Jefferson has the higher ceiling. But at the same time, you probably think Kupp has the safest floor of them all.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong. I think Kupp, for a super flex, I think it's fine here. And redraft, seeing Cooper Kupp go in the first 5 picks, that's something I wouldn't do. I'd rather wait a few and take Jefferson instead at that point. But yeah, I mean, Jefferson, did Minnesota get a new OC? I believe that.
Yeah, it's a whole new coaching staff.
Yeah, it's brand new over there. And apparently whoever they brought in is leaning towards opening up the passing game a lot more. So,
all right, Dante, I'm coming up. I've got a few guys to list for you, but pretty much 5 of them I'm eyeing. Well, now 4. Stephon Diggs, Najee Harris, Dalvin Cook, and Devontae Adams.
I feel like you gotta get Stephon just for the.
Oh, that's a good stack.
Combo.
Great,
yeah,
great
stack.
point.
And then what was the other option?
Najee or Dalvin Cook?
I would go Najee.
I'm thinking the same.
But yeah.
Unless you want a quarterback.
Quarterbacks?
Ooh, it's looking rough. We might want to grab one. Justin Fields, Tua, Trevor Lawrence, Matt Ryan.
How much time we have?
6 seconds.
Matt Ryan. Out of those options?
It auto-picked me. Justin Fields. Damn it.
I was like, all those options are bad, but like, I guess Justin Fields is the best because you have his running, you have his rushing.
Yeah, and you know he's is Andy Dalton even still there?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Matt Ryan. Yeah, Matt Ryan's on the Colts now, right?
Or not Matt Ryan, Andy Dalton. So I think it is just Justin Fields' team. It's just not a good one.
Oh, a few auto picks here. There goes Dalvin. Okay.
That's a great trio to have. Mahomes, Henry, and Cook.
Oh, yeah.
If they can stay healthy.
Yeah, I can't lie. I do not like drafting in the middle of this right now. I much rather prefer the front or the back end where I could either get a star QB right away and then stack with great running backs, obviously, as we see. And kind of my pick in the middle here, like I got my good quarterback. I took a top-notch RB, and it's kind of like the QBs are gone at this point.
Devontae Adams just got picked?
Yeah.
Devontae just went. Yep.
I can't say just. I mean, it is drastic from last year where
He's
you
the
would see
fifth.
him.
He's the 5th receiver.
Yeah, but it's just
That's not too bad.
It's just weird to see him. Like he obviously like you see players that are in the first, like you see a top 5 pick, and then like 2 years from now he's like in the 6th round, like Le'Veon Bell or something like that. But it's just weird. You see like the decline. You start to notice it in each round, each year.
Yeah, when these guys get older, they definitely fall. Maybe not. There are definitely guys where they just take steep drops. But I think this is where we just kind of see Devontae take a steady. Unless he balls out this year, then it's going to be hard to ignore. But
all right,
some guys just kind of age out.
Yeah, and like I'm looking at the draft and it's kind of making me mad now because I look at team number 2 that did exactly what I did, and just because I drafted at 6, I was just at a disadvantage. Like, look at those running backs, man. That's beautiful.
I thought you were a Swift guy. What happened to Swift?
I am a Swift guy. I definitely am, but like I just rather go with the reigning AFC champs and that revamped O-line and Mixon rather than go with Swift. I just feel like it's safer. I think
Swift, I like that too.
He could finish maybe a few points higher than Mixon, but I think it'll be pretty close.
Does Zach take? Oh yeah, he's going to double up on QBs now.
He's going Tua. Yeah, I'm going to have to grab my second QB on the turnaround here. Dante, any QBs you like out there remaining so far?
Matt Ryan still.
Yeah, I like Matt Ryan. Who else? I can't see who's there. So who's
Matt Ryan, Daniel Jones, Jameis Winston, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones.
I bet Zach's going to take Jameis right here.
I would go Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
I would too.
I'd
I'm
say
with you,
Dante.
Dante.
I'm gonna go Matt Ryan if he's there. If not, I'll probably go Jameis here. Seeing what Zach does. Oh, grab the running back.
Oh,
That's actually smart. I don't know how many running backs are left after Nick
there's a
Chubb.
solid amount.
In that tier, though?
No, not in that tier. I think that was the end of it.
All right, Mike, what are you thinking? Matt Ryan, right?
Yeah, this team would be the only team to take a quarterback before me. So, Daniel Jones. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll take Matt Ryan here.
If he makes it to you.
If this guy takes 3 QBs, man, I don't know if I'd ever join one of these things again.
Wait, so who's the Falcons QB right now?
Mariota and Ritter.
Yeah.
Who apparently is fighting for that QB1 spot. It's a competition there. It's an open competition still.
So where would you guys feel comfortable taking Kyle Pitts?
Kyle Pitts, in redraft or in this particular format?
Redraft. Like, what rounds would you feel safe? Like, did he fall in rankings to you guys because he doesn't have a number one right now?
If anything, it just makes him priority and like the only guy. Yeah. Other than Drake London, but I mean, Pitts is finally, he's got to catch some touchdowns.
No.
Yeah, I would guess that Kyle Pitts is going to be the leading receiver on that team. They got some like not veteran receivers, but like veterans in the sense that they've been with the Falcons. Like I'm pretty sure they still have Ezekiel, or I'm not even going to actually
Olamide.
Yeah.
Dante, I'm taking one guy.
Let's see it here.
Took Javonte. Now I'll let you pick.
Yes, sir.
AJ Brown, Kyle Pitts. We were just talking about him. Michael Pittman, James Conner, Darren Waller is there.
You're a pick guy, man. I mean, if I were you and I knew who you would probably take and who you like, I mean, Michael Pittman's probably the answer there. No,
you're right. It's funny you say I'm a pick guy as both Pitts and Pittman are there.
Yeah. That's funny.
But I know, you know me. Michael Pittman's my dude this year.
Yeah, it's going to be a big year for him.
Another thing is interesting to think about with these best ball leagues is that like you have to kind of take into account the end of the season, because it's like you win the league or you win this regular season pretty much, and then you kind of advance if you have like a certain X amount of points or are in the top percentage. So you have to have a good regular season, and then when like week 15 comes around, if you're better than like the top 10%, you advance to the next round and the next round. And you basically win more and more and more money. So you have to kind of take into account those like playoff weeks. So like Pittman having a week 14 bye, he's rested for the playoffs, for the fantasy playoffs, and in this case, the underdog playoffs.
Right.
Let me see what that is.
Now, I believe for these lineups, if you guys would know, is it like flex? Can you flex guys, or what's the situation there? Right.
You get a super flex and you get a flex. Basically, your starting lineup is every week is a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end, a super flex, and a flex.
Okay, so that is going to make me pick Marquise Brown here. I was probably going to go and stack Zeke on top of my guys here, but I want to snag a receiver if that's the lineup that we're looking at here.
You excited about any Dallas guys? CeeDee Lamb making a jump this year or what?
Dude, I love Lamb, but his ADP is way too high. Dallas is not going to be the team to force feed him. He's going to see his 100 targets for sure, but he's not going to get force fed the ball. Like, I don't know. People have some weird ideas about Dallas and that Kellen Moore is a good OC, and he's not. He's not a good OC. He puts up numbers, but he's not a good OC when it comes to getting in the win column. So, I mean, he'll see his targets, but I'm not touching him where he's being drafted right now. I'd rather wait and get the number 2 receiver on the team, Dalton Schultz, who everybody is sleeping on in the fantasy community right now, or rather ADP wise.
Yeah,
what is something going on with Kamara? Did I miss something?
He's expecting a 6-week suspension.
Okay.
Remember, he got arrested after the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Jeez, wow, I totally forgot about that.
And that's another thing too. Like you mentioned, preparing for the fantasy playoffs as well, trying to get guys that are going to be good around there. And I absolutely hate drafting guys that are not going to be on competitive football teams towards the end of the year, because one little injury and it's always the same. It's, oh, why rush him back? We're playing for next year anyways, you know? So, like, I really don't like teams that are not competitive at the end of the year. I don't like drafting guys on teams that aren't competitive, rather. It's just it's rough. Like, fantasy-wise, you draft your studs on good teams. Unless they have a major injury, they're going to show up for you, I feel like. And obviously there's cases where it doesn't happen, but I don't like drafting guys that are on teams that are bad and not going to be competitive when the playoffs roll around, fantasy playoffs at least. Ooh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put my money where my mouth is here. Draft Dallas's number 2 receiver. I'll lock that up. I think Dalton Schultz, I think you could basically pencil him in for, at worst, a top 6 tight end this year. Well, I have a feeling he's going to have a breakout year. He's going to be Dak's safety blanket all year long.
You think he's going to be in that tier with Waller and Kelsey?
Well, I don't think Waller is in that tier with Kelsey, but no, I don't think Schultz is. I think Schultz is in the Waller tier for sure. I mean, dude, how do you feel about Waller? Like, after last year, I don't even want to try to guess what Waller's going to do this year. They just added Adams. Last year, they literally lost Ruggs, and they still did not give Waller the ball, you know? Like, how do you feel about him going into the year?
Well, I mean, losing Ruggs really impacted his touches, I feel like, because Ruggs was able to extend the field with his speed. And I think Devontae's able to do that. Henry's obviously faster, but still Devontae Adams, and they're going to respect what he can do with the deep ball. But I think with him generating so much from the defense, I think Hunter Renfrow is going to benefit the most out of this. You know my hot take with him already, but I think Waller will have kind of a bounce back. I can't say he's going to have Travis Kelce numbers, because I don't even think Travis Kelce is going to have Travis Kelce numbers this year, to be honest with you. But I think Darren Waller will have a better season than he had last year. I'm not expecting him to put up the numbers he did when we were picking him right after Kelce a couple years back. But yeah, I wouldn't completely turn my nose. I mean, out of the tight end position, who are we taking, ahead of him? Mark Andrews, maybe. I mean, you could say Schultz if you want to go on the hype train, Kittle, and then it's really Pitts, Waller. They're really, you want to take your chance with either or at that point. You could say Pitts because he's expected to get more targets because he's going to be the number 1 option to start off the season. But I don't know. I just still feel I want to give Waller one more shot before I completely just hang the cleats on him.
Right. I'm going to snag some Mooney here.
Oh, I didn't get to mention how I went Montgomery and Dobbins at the turn.
Ooh.
Just 2 backs. I really like Montgomery. I think he's just being, I don't know. I think he's a middle of pack running back. He's being drafted kind of where he should be going, but I like what he can do. And then Dobbins coming back from an injury he's coming up on a year. I think he'll basically come back and be who he was. I think he's got what it takes to do that again.
Let me ask you guys this. Who do you think is going to have in terms of running backs, who do you think is going to have more of a breakout year, I guess? Travis Etienne or Javonte Williams?
Ooh.
Because they both got picked. They both got picked ahead of Montgomery, ahead of Ezekiel Elliott, right? Or is I going the other way?
No, you're right. You're right. 52 and 62.
J.K. Dobbins. Josh Jacobs.
I think, and Mike, you might disagree, but I think this year ETN might have the better season, but career-wise, I think it's Javonte. I think this year, Melvin Gordon's there to have an impact on that team in Denver, where, James Robinson is hurt right now, and I don't think he's doing anything in training camp, where ETN could control that team for the first few weeks of the season and just kind of keep it.
Yeah, the PPR points is going to be really attractive with ETN.
Oh, yeah. That dude's a receiver.
I can't even disagree with you. I agree with you 100%. I think it's ETN's year per se, but I think Javonte in the long run. If Javonte was the sole back there, I think there's maybe 4 or 5 backs you could put ahead of Javonte in all seriousness, in fantasy terms. But yeah, ETN, as long as he's healthy, they showed some videos today. I'm not sure if you guys have been on social media. They've showed some videos today of him running, and he looks okay. Obviously favoring that right leg a little bit more than the left leg, which nobody wanted to point out because obviously they see a guy that was out for a whole year running. They're just going to get excited regardless. But yeah, he as long as he's healthy, man, James Robinson, I would think eventually would make his way to getting some reps in there. But, Melvin's taken away from Javonte. So, I honestly, at this point, I would take them both above Zeke, like you said, Dante. I definitely would do that. And I agree with Kyle. I'd probably go ETN over Javonte.
I say that as I drafted Javonte over ETN, but
hey, that's why when we do these, though, you got to switch it up in all these kinds of drafts, get different pieces here and there.
Ooh, some of these are kind of weird to me, though. Like, are we taking Brandon Cooks over Adam Thielen?
Yeah. One of them is
really?
The wide receiver 1 on a team when the other, I think, played half of the season last year.
It auto-picked me. No.
That's not a bad one.
It's not a bad one. I was going to actually draft Devonta Smith there, but it didn't let me. I wanted my little stack still.
What do I have? I'm coming up. I've got 2 QBs, 2 RBs, and a receiver, and 2 receivers. I think I've got my 2 coming up. I'm not sniped. I like that Russell Gage pick, especially with Godwin expected to start the season on the pup.
Right.
Not a fan of Amon-Ra right there, Kyle?
I am. He was taken ahead of me. I had no chance to get him.
You mentioned Russell Gage. I thought.
I was. Well, when I was looking,
I'm just anytime I'm, I feel like any notable player, you're gonna jump on him.
Yeah, it was. I think the issue is I was looking at players after Amon-Ra was taken. That's why I was thinking of Gage. All right, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. This is one of my favorite late QBs to take. Taking another quarterback.
Okay. Baker.
There's no way he doesn't play this season. I don't know who for. I don't know who for, but he's gonna play.
Yeah, 100%. It's interesting. Kenny Pickett's ADP is a lot higher than Mitch Trubisky's here. When Mitch, I think they already announced that Mitch is most likely going to start the year.
Yeah, but I think everybody just assumes that Kenny's going to take it over.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's not bad as a third option. You get a QB late in the year to save you just in case anything happens. It's not a bad idea, dude. And I'm looking at the board right now. There are a lot of still number one receivers on their respective teams out there. And that's why I honestly I'm so against drafting receivers early, especially this year. I feel like we talked about with C.D. Lamb, Dante. Like a lot of these receivers are being drafted way too high, and like look, you got Amari Cooper, who obviously, yeah, not a great team. QB might be in a cell. Who knows? Ooh, I'm gonna. I really do. I think this guy might be a league winner this year. I gotta take him. Kenneth,
Oh,
baby.
okay.
I know he's going to be on the field at one point. It's only a matter of time for Petty. Knock on wood, and never wishing on anybody, but just based off his history, I think Kenneth Walker is definitely going to see some starting time this year. But going back to what I was saying, I lost track. The wide receivers that are here, dude, like even Elijah Moore getting drafted a few picks ago was crazy. I mean, you got guys like Christian Kirk still out there who, you're not going to get your top receiver numbers, but considered one of the best targets on that team. And like those are the guys that I'd rather wait for. You won't catch me drafting a receiver early in redraft, dynasty, best ball, nothing. Unless it's Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, I'm not touching any of them this year. So I'm really big on waiting on those receivers to fall, just like everybody else did with Cooper Kupp last year with a 5th-round ADP.
So you're gonna gobble up those receivers in the mid round?
Yeah, I mean, even looking at them here, like you just had Kirk went that I mentioned. Cooper's the number one target on his team. Arguably, you got Treylon Burks, who will be the number one target on the team. You got MVS, who might be the number one target on his team, and you keep scrolling down the list. Like I mentioned, Elijah Moore. Here's another guy, Garrett Wilson. He might be the number one on his team. There's just a lot of options, and then another one, veteran Robert Woods. As I scroll down the list here, if Burks is having some issues early, I mean, there's your guy. A lot of receivers late. I think that it's just not worth grabbing them this early. You look at the wide receiver list and you see value right now, but if
You would
you're not
be
seeing that much
comfortable.
value.
You would be comfortable having like Valdez Scantling as like your number one. You would be comfortable taking like wide receiver like now.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Yeah, not number one receiver, probably not even number two receiver. I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, I'd rather wait for my guys, most likely like outside of round 4 for the most part in redraft. Back on the clock here. I'm probably going to go receiver. This is a tough one.
List them off.
Treylon Burks, Chris Olave, Tyler Lockett, MVS. I think I'm gonna go with the vet here, regardless of how it turns out there.
Lockett, huh?
Yeah. Switch it up a little bit. I got MVS in my last one, so I wanted to.
Okay.
It was between them two. I mean, honestly, that's a really hard tier to pick which one out of the bunch there. So, but yeah, no, I wouldn't be comfortable with like an MVS type receiver as my number one. Not at all. I'm not taking that big of a risk. But I mean, such as like you always got your tiers. You got your first tier of receivers like Jefferson, Kupp, Chase, Adams, if you want to throw them in there. Second tier. Third tier is probably what I'm talking about as like my first receiver if I don't get one of those top ones. That's most likely what I'm looking at this year. I think there's just so many wide receiver question marks around the league that nobody's going to really know where to draft them. And I think that's going to leave a lot of opportunity for people to get some real good gold later on in the draft. Speaking of wide receiver gold, I mean, that could be a number one that Kyle just took right there. So
I was really hoping Dawson Knox made it back so I could have the triple threat of the Buffalo offense. But I'm happy with Irv. I love me some Irv. And Garrett Wilson is a fantastic wide receiver 3.
All right, so let's recap while we're waiting here. Let me just see. Scroll up. What kind of picks we got going on for you guys? You guys hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, let's scroll up so we can see like the rest of your team real quick.
My mouse isn't working.
Okay. It's Jalen Hurts, Eckler, Mixon, Ryan, Brown, Schultz. Okay. And you got Josh Allen, Diggs, Fields, Javante, Pittman, Montgomery. It's a pretty good team.
Let's look at Zach's over here.
Dude, I was just looking at Zach's, and it's funny because I was just saying wait on receivers, and he kind of did his thing with the receivers. Yeah. Those are the only 2 I would actually take early. But obviously he's going to get hurt at QB, and his running backs are a little bit thin other than the first 2, which is fine by all means. I mean, Nick Chubb and Zeke, redraft dynasty. I mean, that's a beautiful pairing. So he didn't do too bad. Obviously, you got to take a hit somewhere in these drafts. Mm-hmm. For him, it was QB. We'll see what he does, though. His wide receivers are looking pretty good, though. Oh, is this me? Oh, yeah. No. I'm talking my butt off over here. Forgot to check. I honestly, right there, I was probably going to take a page out of Kyle's book there. I was going to go Desmond Ridder as my third QB just to hold on to him. Might take over the job at the end of the year, and I might have an injury, might need him. But I got Treylon Burks instead. Okay.
That's not a bad option.
Not bad.
Let's see.
Wow, this man has 4 QBs on his roster. The man that is up right now.
Who are they? Let's see.
Wentz.
Goff, Prescott, and Burrow.
Wow. But you can only start 2 of them. That's something I would not recommend doing in best ball.
Yeah, I think I'm stopping at 3.
Yeah, 3 is like, I mean, maybe you could do 4, but wait till the end of the draft. He kind of took his backups really, really early there.
Yeah, he got Patterson from the bye weeks.
That is true too. I mean, I'm drafting a best ball team right now, and I did not check any of the bye weeks on my team. That is a big no-no for everybody watching. Do not do that.
You keep doing that.
Yeah, I'm giving Kyle some free money out here, and Zach too. Not checking the bye weeks.
None of these other guys though.
Yeah, none of the other guys. No way.
I like I like Mike Gesicki too. I like Mike Gesicki a lot. That's a hard name to say for me.
Gesicki.
That's how you say it? Yeah. Gesicki. That's better. Yeah, I mean his size alone makes it an easy target for Tua. And I love Rondell Moore too, just for his speed. I think without DeAndre, I think Rondell Moore could take a huge jump up this year if he gets the targets.
Oh, where'd my guy go? There he is. All right, I snagged him.
Kenny Galladay, man. Kenny Galladay. As a Giants fan, I just don't want to hear that name ever again.
Yeah, what do you think the fan base is feeling, or rather, what are you feeling about this being like Daniel Jones's like last year to turn stuff around? Like, do you want him to turn it around? Do you want him to have a bad year and have them go drafting for one and move on? How are you feeling like as a fan?
Yeah, I just don't think he's I don't think he's the quarterback that'll lead us to a championship. So I for that reason alone, I would move on with him. But I just think it's time we hit the reset button in general, to be honest with you. Like Saquon, it's a hot take, but I feel like we kind of gotten the best years out of Saquon right now. Like without the injuries, before the injuries, I don't think we're gonna get something that resembles when he came into the league. At least as long as they keep forcing him the ball and we're not blocking, and he keeps getting hit in the backfield. It's not gonna change. It all starts with the offensive line, and I know we made a lot of pickups this past offseason, so hopefully things change. But yeah, as it states, I'm just not. I'm not a believer of this group coming in the season. But that's also just like I'm desensitized to like having hope. So
Yeah, no, I get that. It's like me when the Dallas rolls around playoff time. I mean, all hope that I had is, I don't even have hope going into the playoffs. I get it. I think Saquon, if he's gonna have a year, it's got to be this year. If Saquon does not finish as a top, I'll even give him top 20 fantasy running back this year. You could just write him off. At that point, write him off. Real life, I mean, obviously the Giants got to figure out what to do. I'm not a big believer in signing running backs. I mean, Dallas signed Zeke to a max contract, and they're going to regret it for as long as he's with us. Not that he's a disappointment. Zeke is exactly the man we need him to be in terms of still power running and up the middle and pass blocking, being a leader. We paid him as a superstar athlete, and that's not what he is.
You paid him
is the guy that's on a rookie contract right now.
I was just say you paid Zeke just to have Pollard come in and show him up.
Exactly. So I mean, it's a contract that they're going to regret for a long time. Is Saquon due for a contract, or did he already sign his contract with the Giants?
Not sure.
That would be interesting too, because if he's on a contract year coming up, that would be very, very interesting for the Giants. All right, back on the clock here.
You actually going to make your pick?
They're picking up his fifth year option.
They picked it up?
Yeah.
I'm going with Rashad, baby. Yeah, so they picked up his fifth-year option, which means that next year, at the end of this year, he'll be a free agent, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, yeah, I mean, another year on top of Danny Dimes is Saquon. They both got to prove themselves, or it's probably the door for both of them. So,
is it a hot take to say trade Saquon if you could? You get the best out of him right now?
I would agree with you on that.
So you get like multiple firsts.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't even blink an eye if someone gave me 2 firsts in real life NFL for Saquon. I wouldn't even blink an eye.
Even if
I don't think he's worth that though. I don't think that NFL teams would actually offer that up. Maybe 1 first rounder at this point, depending on what he does this year. I don't know about 2 first rounders though. I mean, look at some of the guys that like went for a lot less, Yeah,
true.
So I don't know. NFL's weird, dude. Some teams have like a trade balance scale that's like pretty even, and other ones are just like, no, I'll do whatever it takes,
That Todd Gurley deal messed everything up, man.
Yeah.
And how it ended. Yeah, everything.
Yep. Yeah, running backs, I mean, it's not even a narrative anymore. It's actually true. I mean, just the decline over the years, man. And obviously Dallas was the last one to say, oh, yeah, we're well aware that running backs fade away as they get older. Let's give them a max contract. And the whole NFL was probably laughing at the Cowboys, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, and since that Zeke signing, you haven't really seen another running back get paid like that is getting up there in age. And Zeke really isn't. Zeke's still a young dude, but he's obviously lost a step after we force-fed him 300, 400 touches his first few years,
And that's why you get the best production out of them that early. That's why I say, like, for Saquon, I probably start looking at what you can get for him. because you're gonna get this is the best time you're gonna get the most out of him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, if they could trade him, and honestly, it would be a great time to trade him because he doesn't have a contract to bring over with him. So you're kind of just like saving yourself millions of dollars by shipping him off. If somebody would want to take him, you'd obviously have to get a trade done during the year before he's a free agent as well to make sure you get anything out of him. Yeah, I don't know with the Giants, man. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting take this year. I think his name is DeBall, Brian DeBall.
Dabble. Mike, you're on the clock, by the way.
I am on the clock.
So you don't get autoed again.
Oh, let's see.
Remember when Robert Tonyan was going to be that sneaky tight end that was going to be like top 5 last year? I picked up Robert Tonyan in probably like 3 of my drafts, like expecting him to produce like at least Mark Andrews numbers, and like nothing.
Nothing, man.
Nothing.
Yeah, that was kind of just like a weird thing that happened. Like he finished so strong the year before, so like.
Well, he had like 10 catches for 8 touchdowns. Like that was his stat line.
Yeah.
It was something absurd like that. And a lot of people were like, it's not sustainable. And they were right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kyle, what are you thinking with these picks? I mean, are these the last 2 or?
I believe so, right?
One more.
Let me check. No. We got several more.
Oh. Let's do it.
Let's see. I'm probably looking to
I'm going to need a list of the players soon.
Yeah, I don't love – so I'm taking one running back that I don't think I have any of, but I love him this year.
Is this tight end? Like, who is
Tyler Algier.
Alberto? Hey, that's the starting tight end with
Alberto, yeah. Alberto, yep, that's a good one. We'll stick to that.
Here, Dante, I'll switch screens after this pick so you can kind of see who's available. But I'm going to take another receiver, Jacoby Myers. Let me switch screens here.
Damn, wow, he was still there. That's a
great
pick.
They got I'm blanking on his name now.
Oh, they did. Devontae Parker, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, the Patriots will be interesting too. You know, they kind of like play the same game that they've always been playing, and I don't think Bill's going to switch off from that. It's either going to work or I think he's going to die on his playbook over there. So
that'll be the times are coming for him.
Yeah, and didn't was it this year or last year that the OC left, McDaniels?
This year, he's a Raiders coach now.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I mean, who the hell knows what the Patriots are going to look like? You know.
They'll look the same.
Yeah, exactly. And that was my point. Like they're going to get the same Patriots team. They're probably going to die on that hill, die with the same game plans and everything that they've been doing for years. So, I did want Gerald Everett if he was going to fall to me as a backup. Now I got to go back to the board here.
Got Higbee there. You got. I mean, I don't know how we feel about Fant. Now he's a Seahawk.
Yeah, I think I took Lockett in this one, so I'm not going to do that.
Hey, man, when Mayfield's there, it's going to look a lot better.
I'm going to go with a little Khalil.
Is that your hot take?
Yeah.
What's the take?
I think he goes there. That Baker winds up in Seattle.
Baker?
Yeah.
I could see it eventually, yeah. I don't know with Seattle. I mean, it's so hard for an NFL team. Like, you actively know that you're bringing in a quarterback that is not going to win you anything. That's just like a sucky feeling, man.
Bro, it could be worse. You know, he deserves to at least be starting.
Yeah, absolutely. He should be in the NFL. It's just like it's just got to be a terrible feeling, you know. It's like waiting till the 8th round for a running back. Like it's the same thing. Like, yeah, he's going to be my starter, but we're obviously not going to win anything. Oh, Zach Wayne on a tight end here. Let's see if he snags one.
Ooh.
I would go Higbee. Fire him.
Oh, he went great.
Oh, that's a good one.
The opportunity's there, man. Not terrible. Not bad at all.
Oh, yeah, with Gronk out, too. Well, presumably.
Until the playoffs.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Marshawn Lynch did that not too long ago. Was retired and came out just in time for the playoffs. I think they won a game, too, or something like that.
That's true. Was that a... Last year he was on the Titans, wasn't he?
Marshawn?
Last year?
No, not Martian. I was thinking of AP. Who the hell am I thinking of? Of Seattle.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I think was it last year?
No, this was for
No, he didn't come back last year.
Marshawn.
Yeah,
no, he's been out for a few years.
Yeah, I don't know what year it was. Obviously, Russ was still over there, and I don't even think they had DK yet. But Marshawn came out, I believe, and I think they won a playoff game with him or something like that.
It might have been his rookie year, DK's, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense that it would be if he was there.
2019. Let's see here. Yeah, he won a playoff game with them and then lost the next one with them. He didn't do much for them.
In 2019?
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
he didn't really do much.
He had 6 carries for 7 yards the first week, and then 12 carries for 26. But oh my gosh, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, they're all like goal line touchdowns, probably.
Yeah, that's all they needed him for.
Yeah, he was drafted in 2019. Nice. All right. So we got Higbee, Austin Hooper, Robbie Anderson.
What position are you looking at, Dante? I've got 4.
I'm just looking at everything available, like what you got on the available players.
Wow, it's interesting. Would you take a flyer on Odell at this point? If you scroll down a little bit, he's still there. Would that be something you guys would even be thinking of in a best ball?
No.
No.
I don't think he comes in and puts up a start-worthy performance.
Right.
Yeah, he's like wide receiver. What is he like? Wide receiver 3, 4 there.
He's not on a team yet.
Oh, he's back with the Rams.
No,
he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Free agent. So, like, I'm assuming he'll heal up. He may even take the year off. I mean, why wouldn't he? He just won a Super Bowl. Unless he really does want another paycheck, then I guarantee you see him sign with some team midway through the year.
Yeah, didn't the dude tear his ACL or something?
Yeah, in the Super Bowl. That's rough. Oh.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm good. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I'm staying far away from that, man.
Take Wan'Dale Robinson. Take a dart throw on him. Oh,
yeah.
Another receiver. Doubling up. What do you think about this, Dante? I know you like it just because of this.
I'm not a Denver homer like that. Yeah, I gotta see them succeed first. I'm a bandwagoner. But out of
10 seconds. Where are we going?
I would go Curtis Samuel. Yeah.
Yeah, I went with him. It's tough, dude. Sorry to put you on the spot constantly.
No, you're good. Keep scrolling so I can see like what other players are. What do you need?
Oh, dude, I would say I'm set.
Like,
I think right now it's best player available.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I mean, I got most of the stuff covered. Obviously, at this point, if I'm in tuned with my lineup, which I wasn't when I started, I'd strictly be drafting off of bye weeks to make sure that I have guys coming off the bench to cover. Obviously, I didn't follow it from the beginning, so I'm not going to start now. It's kind of already screwed there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm probably looking for I don't know what I'm looking for. Let's see. Some interesting names. I'm looking
What's
for
your team, Mike? Can you? Well, it's too late.
I got you. Yeah, I can show it.
Yeah.
Look on this side over to the right.
I think I'm going to take a long shot here. The replacement to Brandon Cooks in my eyes. Just in case there. I'll take an extra guy there.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. I got some depth here and there. I might want to go back up tight end eventually too. I see everybody basically as 2 except me at this point.
Love the Khalil Herbert pick.
You like Khalil?
I love him. I think he's a fantastic backup running back to own or to roster. You laughing at me, Dante?
No, I'm. Mike, go to your. No, go, Mike. I want to see what Mike's wide receivers. Ooh, man. Jarvis Landry, I guess.
That's my team. Hold on. It keeps switching back. Oh my! I was
going to say
every time a pick is taken, it goes back to his team.
I mean, my wide receivers aren't anything special either. Like I said, I waited.
Let me see the running backs. Yeah, let me see the running backs. Okay.
You've redeemed yourself, Mike.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Zach took the shot on Odell.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I honestly, with these best ball, like I said, to start the draft, I just feel like I was at a disadvantage not getting that star QB right away, you know? Kind of like everybody towards the end of the first round is picking up the slack with the QBs. And then by the time everybody starts panicking and not even panicking, but taking running back and receivers, it's like when it comes back to those first 3 picks in the second round, or in the second round, the last 3, you're going to get some good value there. Like that's kind of the pick I would want. A super flex is an early pick or a late pick. The middle kind of, I'm not a huge fan of it. Honestly, I wouldn't even want to draft in the back end. You kind of just get the worst quarterback available, and you're forced to take them, you know? Zach is defying the odds here. Zach waited on a QB, so I mean, if I'm following, I think Zach's quarterbacks are
Jones and
Tua and somewhat Mac Jones and Mariota Pickett. Yeah, so he drafted smart. He drafted 4 QBs that possibly are going to be playing in and out all year, or not rather his first 2, but
I haven't really been following the Dolphins like that over the past couple years, like ever probably. What is Tua like? So what is it like that's promising about Tua? Like what?
That is a Zach question.
Yeah, that is a Zach question.
That man loves Tua, and I don't see it. Mike, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, I don't get the Tua hype. I could see how he could be good, but I haven't seen any of those flashes. Like nothing stood out with him. But Zach, let me tell you, that man loves Tua.
You know what? I lied. I'm gonna go KJ here. I lied. The tight ends. There's just nobody that is even attractive to me. I like Jordan a little bit, but I did just draft the Houston wide receiver, so I'll stick with
Taysom Hill, no promise of maybe QB.
I don't know what Underdog would do with that, though. Would they count him as a QB for that week? Or?
I think he's strictly tight end.
I mean, I know my next pick then. That's not bad at all. You have a guy in an emergency could be a QB and play in your tight end slot. I'll take that.
All right, I'm going to take a security blanket if he makes it to me.
Julio?
No. I'm going to take Geno just in case Baker doesn't go to Seattle.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Because truthfully, I think Geno may be potentially the only remaining starting quarterback.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm taking him.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I hate it. I hate it, but who cares? He'll start a game or two. All right, Dante, what are you thinking?
I saw D'Ernest. I kind of, based on what he did when he had the opportunities, I kind of liked what he did
Love it.
last.
Listen, I will just say for the record, there was reports out there that he possibly is going to get cut from the team. So
okay, all right, jeez. I was prepared for like more allegations or something, man. I'm like,
he made the most of his out of his opportunity. Like he had a really good showing when he was on the field, but like they got the new guy coming in who's definitely a lot better than him, and there's already rumors about him getting cut and possibly not even sticking on for special teams. So. Okay. Yeah, that one I'd have to go against there, but I love the guy. What a great story, D'Ernest.
Love a great story, especially a football one.
Mm-hmm. Did someone take? He did take Taysom.
Yeah, he went before me.
Oh man! All right. What do you think, Dante? Kyle, if you could show him the tight ends really quick, what would you be looking at for a backup for me here? Any upside you see or?
Oh, right here. Cade Otton. Tight end one of Tampa Bay right now. That's the one that sticks out to me.
Some Cade. What do you think, Dante?
Uzama. Yeah, let Dante.
For me, like, I mean, I would probably go with Kyle's opinion on Cade just because he seems so sure about it. But the one that stands out to me out of these are like Jonnu Smith, I guess. But like
Jonnu. You know what? I love Jonnu, bro. I'm gonna take him, Dante, just because you said that.
I would probably go Cade. You sure you don't want to go Cade?
You said Jonnu, man.
Yeah, Kyle feels way more. Kyle feels way more, positive about Cade than I do about Jonnu. I was just that Jonnu's the only name I know there. I mean, I'm just like, yeah, Smith, like, let's do it.
Jonnu, the tight end two on a team
it's all good. It's all good.
Has been going downhill.
Kyle, you've been doing redraft with me for years now. I think literally, other than last year, I would say
still had him last year.
I did. I'm glad you remembered. I did have him last year, not in the main league, but I did have him. I believe in Zach's over there. I just love the guy. He's such a freak athlete, man. Just Patriots. They haven't made a skill position player like fantasy valuable since like Randy Moss and Edelman.
Dude, it's I remember that offseason. It was so everybody was so deflated seeing both Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith go to New England after both of them were going to finally have breakout following years, and then it was just like, oh no, now neither of them are going to do anything. Yeah, Hunter Henry had a good year last year, but not like
and it wasn't like big fantasy wise. It was like if in an emergency, I'll throw him in there. Yeah.
He's the guy everybody was trying to throw into trades because it's just like, yeah, here's a tight end you can start, which was really hard to come by last year.
Exactly. Here's a good tight end who has skill, can play the position well, but is on a terrible team that won't give him his value. Yeah. Essentially. Like,
oh, Mike, just a heads up. I think this is the last round.
Yeah. I don't know what to do here. Do I take the fourth QB or do I just stack up with some late value? Dante, I'm going to let you take a look at this one again for me. Anybody on the screen at all that pops out, any position on the clock.
Scroll.
Oh, I don't like that if we're scrolling too much.
I mean, if you want to back up, I guess Teddy.
Teddy who? Who's Teddy?
Wait, who's the backup for Christian McCaffrey? Is it still Chuba? Or
Chubba Bubba?
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, that's a great pick. Chubba Bubba. I like that. Great pick.
I would just if I was a betting man, and I am underdog, baby. Come on, I would bet McCaffrey's missing.
Wow, yo, that was a great find, Dante. That was Chuba is actually a great pick in best ball. Especially in the last round, man. He went Cade Otton over there.
I was hoping he'd make it back.
So you have 2 handcuffs.
Last pick here, Kyle.
Yeah, it's coming up. I don't like any of these guys.
Yeah, let me take a look here. Let me see if
I got one. I got one eye.
Who are you looking at?
I'll talk about him.
Wow. I mean, if you scroll down a little bit, there's a running back on that list named Snoop Connor. And just for the name alone, I mean, oof. Take a look at the running back list, man. I have never heard of this guy, but Snoop Connor, man, that is a name. There he is. That is a name and a half, man. Someone to look into.
You a rookie?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Who you
Boston
going,
Scott, baby.
Oh, you in Boston, man. You just like me and Janu, I swear you've had Boston Scott for a few years now, just as that
he's been a dude. He's just constantly been he gets like a 20-point game every year. And when it's coming. It's whenever Miles Sanders is out.
Yeah. I mean, even when Miles Sanders is healthy, the Eagles don't use him anyway, so but when the backups come in, they use them. They obviously use them.
Yeah.
Last year, I'll never forget, Sanders went down. They went with Gainwell. Gainwell had like a 20, 30-point game in between there. And then the very next week, they signed about 2 other guys, and Gainwell did not see the field. And I was sitting back as a Gainwell starter that week that started him. And I was just like, what the hell, man? Like, where did this come from? He just spazzed. You never know. That's fantasy for you,
That's fantasy.
Yep.
All right. Well, here, actually, I'll pull it up while I talk us out here. I still have it open. Oh, somewhere. Here it is. All right, fellas. It was a fantastic draft. Holy cow. 20
I like
rounds.
it. Yeah, a lot of rounds. I was not expecting that many there.
No. I honestly thought it'd be like 17, like the Best Ball Mania. But either way, very happy I got pick 1. I haven't had pick 1 yet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I've been floating in the middle every single time I'm on Underdog.
You feel happy with that pick?
Oh, yeah. I like it. It's tricky because it was Superflex, so it was a little skewed from what I usually play, which is just straight PPR. But, I mean, hard to go wrong with choice of pick at any of these guys, and to get Josh Allen. I love me some Josh Allen. So
is there any reason that you would take anyone like outside the QB position as the first pick?
As the first pick, no. If it weren't best ball, I think I'd consider Jonathan Taylor. But because it's best ball, you gotta I think it's QBs and QBs only, because you're kind of playing it. You're like, look at this draft. You play to who you're playing against, and everybody went QB except for Blue Heel and Bard and Broncos. So like you kind of play it to your competition, and if they're taking quarterbacks, you have to take a QB as well.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. The QB stretch there wasn't like a surprise. I just didn't think I was going to have an option to take Taylor. Looking back on it, I may have switched it up. I may have gone Taylor and then 2 QBs, something like that. But yeah, I think you at least have to have 1 quarterback within the first 3 rounds. I can't see it working without one.
Yeah.
At least one. But yeah, I feel like you could switch it up. And like Kyle said, it depends on who you draft with. You got to kind of feel it out, make moves on the fly.
Yeah. And again, if you're pick 10, like this guy was, and Jonathan Taylor is still there, hard to pass on that. I think once it gets to like pick 8 and and you have your choice at still Jonathan Taylor or the 8th QB, you go Jonathan Taylor, no doubt about it.
Yeah, no. That was an easy pick for him. He was probably so happy with it as well. So Dante, you're looking at our 3 teams here. Which team with their top 3 picks would you be most confident going into the season with this year? You got Allen, Diggs, and Fields, Hurts, Eckler, Mixon, and Kupp, Jefferson, and Tua.
That's tough.
It's a good mix. We all kind of did something different.
It's PPR, right? It's PPR?
Yeah.
I'd probably go with Zach's team then.
I think I'd agree.
I just PPR, like the amount of touches a receiver gets is just so important to me. That's what I look at. Each point of reception, like that's huge. And Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson easily can get close to 15 targets a game if they want. So
I love it, especially because Tua is still being drafted at what he was being drafted at last year, and that's value in itself. I think. I don't think that his fantasy numbers are going to get worse. If that happens, I mean. The coach, who I think is so funny, I love that coach. He would get fired instantly if Tua had a worse fantasy season than he did last year. So that upside at Tua being drafted that late next to guys like Trevor Lawrence, like that's huge, man.
And I know it was top 3, but like outside of that, you got like Nick Chubb, who's going to be like a top 10 running back, this year. They don't even have a quarterback right now. So we'll see.
Yeah. Who knows if that'll hurt him, though? Who knows? Never know.
Who knows? All right, fellas. Another great draft in the books with you boys. I think it's expected that the Best Ball Puppy Tournament Superflex is going to fill tonight. So I think we were among one of the final drafts. I think that's expected to close either tonight or sometime in the coming days. So it's a pleasure getting in there. I always love drafting, especially against real people. Kind of gets you ready for kind of the big redraft season drafts, because then you're like, all right, where have I been drafting people all off season, all summer? So thank you, Mike and Dante, for joining me today. And since we were drafting on Underdog, don't forget to use our code FIRSTSEED on Underdog. Get a up to $100 deposit match. So if you deposit $100, you get $100 more. You basically get $300. That's I think 8 Best Ball Mania entries. Or you spend $100 and you keep the $100 in there and just play throughout the season. You play drafts or whatever you want to do. It's your money, but we're helping you get more of it in there. Maybe sometime closer to the season, we'll probably do like a live stream, like draft with, I don't know, people watching and kind of sending out the link and live draft all together. But who knows? Down the road. Thank you for tuning in, and who knows? Subscribe, like, favorite, follow us on the Twitters, Instagram at First Seed Fantasy, and Dante's looking at him. And
smash that thumbs up, baby.
And YouTube as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All over the place. We're everywhere. You can find us.
Helps the algorithm. Or whatever they say.
Have a great day. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Dante, Mike, thanks for joining me. And look forward to drafting with you next time.
Peace.
See you guys.
Out.